Hello, are you still there? My name is Matti and I'm going to explain you the second part of the EQUILIBRIX trilogy called Combact. And I will do it right now. So, as a first thing, we need to sort all the components and we will start with the long ones. These markers we can just keep aside because we will need them for now, maybe later. Also, those two micro pieces will not be part of our game because they are kind of reserve, like backup if you lose one, so we don't count with them. Or you can use them as a compensation in case of like both players are on different level. So example, adult father plays with his infant son. Why not to give the weaker ones those two jokers, because they are very strong, very powerful, and they will be needed and wanted. Normally each player have only 1 and 1 as individual hand, as individual stock. So this is one player compensated, so normally it would look like this. And this is a second player keeping 2 individual micro pieces and 1 5+1 token. Rest of all pieces will be right here, and they create an outer circle as a public feed. It has to be a clear order, so like the path, no like crossroads or double circle. So we need it goes from here to here and here and here. Let's skip the game objective for now because there's a plenty of them, and focus on what is common, because there are 2 fixed principles, and the first of them is choosing a piece from a circle. So we will work with this inception position, and if the pyramid is right here, I can only choose from 4 pieces, like it can be visible in a clockwise order from the inception. So the 5th and the others are locked, they just create a future, and any piece I choose, let's say I want to play with this one, and I will place it on the board, but that will be the new position of the inception. So I have just defined the choice for the other player, and I am responsible that he can use one of those 4 pieces. Through the game, this is an endless circulation of this inception, except playing a micro piece from your hand. So I can just make it twice per game, and if I play one of those, this does not change its position, so, because I just did not make my choice. The second principle, which is common, is rules about placing a piece. First piece I will do in a game can be placed just anywhere. So I can start from a side, from a border, or I can already try to make some central domination. It's up to me. I just place it. From now, for the whole development of the game, then I have to follow. So with next pieces, I definitely cannot start somewhere else. I have to touch, or I have to connect those pieces through the middle of the flower. So this can be a connection This also can be connection, but there is some restriction, which is very serious, very strict. I call it 5-dot principle. The 5-dot principle, because it's very, very crucial. You always have to fit in 5 dots. Your connection cannot be stronger, thicker, more expensive than 5 dots. So if it's like 1 plus 3, it's okay, it's legit, it's valid, because I'm lower than 5. If there are already like 3 dots right here, I cannot place the piece here, the new one, because 3 and 3 together totals 6, and 6, believe or not, is more than 5. So this is an invalid move. The only exception how to make this is to pay with my plus 5+1 token, which is kind of like hot potato, so it goes not out of the game, but I will give it to my opponent, and he has both. And maybe in the future it will come back to my hand. That's why I call it hot potato. So 5-dot principle is very, very strict, and you have to learn how to work with that. And it means that you will find out that it's not only the physical body of the piece, but also kind of, I would say, destructive aura or something intangible around those pieces. Because, for example, this piece is very, very not nice, very expensive, because there are already 5 here and 5 here, which means that I have 0 chance to follow, to go on. I have no chance to work with this whole flower and with this whole flower. So actually, it's such a big piece. Just this one. So you will be bigger enemy of your own that the second player, that your opponent is. And what more, I just did not exactly say that we count only one color. Respecting the 5-dot principles will not look at the other color. So the blue one can just do 4+1, and it doesn't matter that there is already 5, because it's 5 in white. So each player has to fit in 5 dots in one color by placing pieces. That's it. So you can just take those dots as a price, because this piece, let's give a brief example, has many kind of crossroads, many knots you can go on, and these ones are super cheap, very nice, because you can combine them with 1, with 2, with 3, with 4. There is no need to use all 5 dots. You can very nicely just make a 2-dot connection, or 4-dot connection like this, or a 3-dot connection. And maybe in later in a game development, you can add one more piece, and they together can just have like 5, 2 and 2 and 1. So that was it. You know the 2 principles, how this flows like the river, and how you can place your pieces. And now it's time to say or define who will win and why. And that's the time of choosing your scenario. Before the game starts, both players have to choose from the goal, from the objective they want to play. If they will not agree, they can just roll, because you can take it as a D4 dice, and on a peak, I can just autofocus. In the peak, there is always the same sign. So like this, the pyramid shows you play this. If you rotate it, then you play this scenario, and if you rotate this one, come on, it shows some time. So let's start with the time factor. It's the first kind of tutorial. It's very good to get used to the game, so I recommend you to start with this scenario. And it's very easy because the first player who cannot place his piece just loses. So it's my turn. I only have like 4 big pieces. None of them fits on the board. I used all my micro pieces, so that's the end of the game. So your goal is to not to be the player who can't play. So it's quite clear how you should behave, and that is saving your environment and kind of making chances and areas for at least one more turn than your opponents. The other scenarios work with some scoring. So let's have a look to the autonomy. Autonomy gives you points for empty fields surrounded by pieces in your color, and the bigger the field is, the more points you score. So it does not have to be in the middle. It's more effective to build an area like on a periphery, because the board always cooperates. It works with you, and this external curve of a biangular field at the edge of the board just makes the job together. So this is already like one piece for the white, and this big area is already 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, like 13 points. But they are not fixed points. They can be stealed just by infiltrating by the other color. So the blue one has a nice objective. Try to get closer. This is still 13 points for the yellow, or for the white, of course. But next time, with any piece the blue one plays in, it destroys all the points for the white, because those fields are double colored, so it's nothing. And what more, the blue one just created 1 and 1 points for himself. So it was like a 15 points difference move. That's good. Yeah. One more thing. You have an option B how you can make your turn, and that's passing. And the game ends when both players pass, one after another. So if you have more points, you can pass. You can give up your move. Let's go to the third. Let's go to the third. It's called 3 + 3 goals. And this scenario works with those auxiliary markers, with the goals, with the flags. And you just need to place them at the beginning of the game, somehow around the board. It does not have to be like blue, white. It can be also like this, or you can create 2 hemispheres. But let's keep this. They are out of this big circle, so there is only 5 ways how you can reach, how you can connect it, the marker, and how you can score. But this is not about connecting first your color. That was the connect game. This is different because you can score both colors, so you can achieve up to 3 white and 3 blue points. And who will win? If you have more points in your color, you won. It's easy. In case of draw, so it means that both players have the same amount in their color. The amount of the opponent's markers connected is decisive as a secondary criterion. So it means that I'm not sure if I will need the opponent's color, but in case of draw, that will be what decide about the winner. How to connect them? This is a connection of the white, this is a connection of the blue. And there is a difference if you just connect it or if you manage to connect it in a way that will not pass the other. So this is very strong way how to connect it, because the blue one has the only left way how he can connect it as well. And when this time comes, you can still use your micro piece and make it like closed, because you still are respecting the 5-dot principle. So in this scenario, the fat pieces, the pieces with all those triangular pieces around, are very strong because they can kill the chance for the other to reach their primary criterion. So I hope this was at least somehow clear. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for the Matty Moves Wooden Vibes.